Hi, I'm Yolanda, and I'm a channeler. And in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about channeling through the voice and what that is, and I'm going to actually demonstrate what that looks like, what it is and what it isn't. I'm going to more focus on what it is, and I want to just talk a little bit about channeling. Now, channeling is a little bit different from psychic in that when we channel, we're not actually tuning into people's energies. We're not actually blending in with their energy to bring through messages and guidance. We're actually blending with higher selves, with guides, teams, higher wisdom. This is what we are bringing the messages from. We are bringing the messages from spirit teams, spirit guides, through our voice to another person. So in order to channel, you don't actually need to know what someone looks like, and you don't actually need to know much about them at all, because you're not needing to read or blend in with their energy. You're not needing to pick up anything from their energy field. You're only needing to just bring through the higher guidance for it. Now, channeling, to be able to do this, the first step is to get into a trance or a semi-trance state. And when we get into the trance state, we're able to start to blend with our teams, with the guides, and allow them to come more closely into our energy field. And what they do as we blend with them is they sort of push a message. They push a message directly through us, and it comes out our throats. So this is why I'm talking specifically about channeling through our voice, using messages through our voice. Obviously, there are other methods of channeling which work in slightly different ways, but for this video, I'm demonstrating the voice. Now, everybody is different. There's a different pathway that the guides push information through. It could come through the back of your heart. It could come through your third eye. In my case, it comes down through my crown and out my voice, but also it comes up through my base and out my voice. So the two kind of come together. It's though they come together, merge, and they move out my voice. And now, in order to do the demonstration of this video, I've asked in a closed Facebook group for some volunteers to ask some questions so that I can better show you what channeling is and what channeling isn't. Now, the first question I have is from Sherry, and she'd like to know if she's on the right path work-wise. Now, to answer her question, I'm going to blend with my guides and I'm going to bring through a message for her, but I'm not going to channel it. I'm going to instead bring through some intuitive guidance, but I'm going to do it using my clairs, and whatever comes through, I'm not actually going to allow the pathway to move directly through my voice, just to demonstrate what channeling is not. So what I'm going to be doing is actually called intuitive guidance from the teams. So I'm just going to get tuned in, and I'm going to start blending in with my guides, just calling them in, setting the intention to call in Sherry's guides and her higher self to come in and sort of blend in with my teams to be able to give her the most divine and perfect message. And I'm intending that the Sherry who asked this question in this specific Facebook group be the one to receive this guidance. And as my team's coming closer, and I connect in with them in a little bit deeper of a state, I'm getting this vision. First of all, I'm getting a vision of Sherry sort of standing at work going, what am I doing here? Like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? There's a bit of confusion. On some level, she's like, well, I'm here now. Obviously, I'm here for a reason, but I don't know what that reason is. And feeling like her energies, I almost get a sense like her energy's elsewhere as well. Like part of her is not fully present in this workspace. And I can see that the part of her that isn't present is a little bit fearful of where she's going. I don't know if fearful is the right word. I'm just sort of feeling a sense of uncertainty is probably a better word. The feeling I'm getting is uncertainty. Like, I don't know if I'm meant to be here. And so I'm just giving a background of what I'm seeing here. And I'm seeing that she's not fully present, and not fully, her energy is not fully into the work that she's in. And I'm looking into this I'm asking them to bring in more guidance around this, about what do we need to show her. And I'm getting the feeling that she does need to sort of bring her energy back and call it back into the present. But there's some sort of anxiety around that, because there's a part of her job that challenges her. And she feels like it challenges her in a way that she doesn't know if she needs to be challenged. It's almost like, well, that's a big challenge, but I don't know if that's for my higher self, or highest good. I don't know if that's what I'm meant to be doing. I don't know if that really is the pathway for me. And I'm getting this other vision of Sherry kind of looking at this sort of dilemma, going, I'm not sure this is for my highest good, and not necessarily being able to sort of expand out to see beyond, to the bigger picture, to what lays beyond that. I sort of see this as being like a little obstacle in the road, and it's kind of blocking her view of the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that this obstacle is actually merely a little block in the road. That's all it is. It's just a little block in the road. It is something that she ultimately needs to demolish. It's almost like she needs to take a hammer and a knife, and she just needs to bang, 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 and completely demolish this block in the road. Now, what does this mean? I get a sense that, first of all, she needs to let go of the fear and trepidation, and she needs to sort of see this block as being something that she can move past, she can move through. It is completely achievable, but her fears and her anxieties making the block out to seem like a mountain, when in actual reality it isn't that bad. It's just something that she needs to work through, and it's going to help strengthen her wits. It's going to help her to not so much strengthen her boundaries, but become stronger in herself, more grounded, more aligned, more focused. And so my advice for you, Sherry, is to sort of take this sort of feeling of fear and trepidation and uncertainty, and just face it. Just put your energy into it. And what is this bringing up for you? What is this bringing up for you? And how can you sort of sit with that and go deeper into that? Because we say that when you go deeper into that and to just feel it and to actually work through those feelings, you're going to find that in actual reality, this little problem is actually, it's not so big of a deal. Now, to see beyond this problem into the bigger picture, I'm getting a sense that, and see, I've just slipped into channeling. And now, just going to focus back in on my senses here. I'm a channeler, so it's a natural state for me to move into channeling, but I can sort of see Sherry not necessarily seeing the bigger picture right away, but I get a sense that what they're trying to say is that when you can move past this little blip in the road, you're going to see that there are opportunities in this work environment that you hadn't yet seen. And these opportunities are not obvious opportunities, but they are opportunities that you need to find and discover, and that you need to sort of embrace and to make them what you will, so to speak. You have the power to make them what you will. And so there's some learning opportunities here. There's some growth opportunities. And I can see you kind of discovering these things and then deciding whether or not you want to embrace it and take it forward. And the message they really want to say to you is you have choices here. You actually have choices. You're not locked down. And whilst if you were to leave this job and move to another one, well, you may or may not be happy. You may or may not find something better. But we will say that you will stumble across a similar yet different kind of block in the road. And this block in the road is really, its greater purpose is to help you to, I'm feeling, to just sort of strengthen yourself and to get stronger within yourself. And to get more confident in yourself, that you can tackle your fears, you can tackle these little problems in front of you, and you can find your way through these problems and to move into something greater. And so this is my message for you to keep in mind. It was a semi-channeled message. I was trying to keep the message not channeled, but there was times when it was just flowing. Now, So this is a semi-channeled message, but it was semi-not because I was using my clairvoyance, I was using my clairaudience, and I was using my clairsentience. I was feeling into it, I was getting visions, I was hearing words. But at the same time, I was also semi-slipping into the channeled state where the words were just flowing out directly. Now, as I said, that's my default, so it's more challenging for me to not do that. But it is an example of a non-channeled or a semi-channeled message. Now, for question 2, I'm going to completely channel the message. I'm not going to use any of my psychic messages or psychic senses, sorry. I'm not going to use any clairvoyance or clairaudience. I'm going to 100% let the teams answer this question. But I'm only going to let them blend to a certain degree. I'm only going to let them blend so far. So what you're going to notice with this level of blending is that my voice is still mine, my accent's still mine. The words that I'm using are still mine. It's my normal way of talking. So I'm still very present. I'm still very aware. I'm allowing the messages to flow through me, but they're coming through in there's still a level of separation between me and the guides. And this level of separation is allowing me to be able to express things in the way that I express them in my more natural everyday state, but I'm still channeling. Let's see if you can see what I mean, because I'm going to later do a step 3 where I allow the teams to fully blend with me and I get completely out of the way and I let them do the talking directly to you. So for question 2 is asked by Allie. And Allie asks, how can I deepen my intuition and my psychic ability to give guidance to others? Now, Allie, to my awareness, is already somebody who is on the path and doing readings of some sort. So I'm just going to intend to answer this question to the best of my ability. I'm intending for my guides and my teams to come in closer and blend in. I'm connecting to Allie's higher self and her guides as well, and I'm just allowing them to just come in a little bit closer. And I'm intending to just channel this message, but channel this message just as a very gentle channeling, and I'm just going to get out of the way and see what they have to say. Dear Allie, we have some messages for you. We feel that there is a part of you that is very keen to develop, but not just develop, but to develop to a state where you're unique, you're special. What you do is very, very different, where you can stand out, where you can be sort of seen as being one who stands out in a crowd as being a little bit different. You're wanting to bring your own spin into things. You're wanting to do something that no one else has done. And yet we say that at the same time, whilst you have this dream, this isn't necessarily a message to discourage you from this dream. In fact, we want you to continue to hold on to this dream, simply because this dream is opening doors for you to step more into the higher truth of who you are. For the higher truth of who you are is a very unique being with a very unique way of working that no one else does. It's your own way, it's your own messaging, and it's something that's very special to you. And yet to really open fully into that and to really develop into that in a way that is going to really allow you to shine is still going to take a little bit of practice. And by practice, we don't necessarily mean using your mind to discover more about who you are and then practicing that. The practice is more along the lines of practicing what you are already doing now. Practice, 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 practice. We're just going to continue to say practice, 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 because we really want you to practice what you are doing now. Practice what you are doing now. Because when you're practicing what you're doing now, what you're doing is you're strengthening your abilities, and you're experimenting, you're playing, you're learning. You are learning so much about readings. You're learning so much about others. And it is through this practice, through this learning, that you're going to ultimately discover what makes you unique. You're going to discover what makes you different. You're going to discover what you love and what you don't love, what you love and what you don't love. And what you love is going to bring you more joy. And as you step more into doing what you love, you're going to make more discoveries about even more about what you love. And this pathway of discovering what you love and discovering what you love is going to ultimately take you where you need to go. It's going to take you down that path of ultimately stepping into who you are and the kind of readings you actually want to be. And so this answer is very, very simple. It's basically to practice what you are doing now. And for you, doing is the key. Doing, practicing, learning. Not so much learning, but learning through the practicing, giving readings, giving more readings, using your intuition, using it some more, using it in various different situations and scenarios. You're going to very quickly learn what you love and what you don't love. And when you follow that love, and for you, it's love is the key here. Love is the key. When you follow what you love and step more into what you love and intend to do more of what you love, and start doing more of the readings that you love, it's going to open the door for you to discover more and more about what you're good at and what you're not. But it's through doing what you love. And the challenge for you is this: finding out what you love. Because you like this and you like that and you like this and this is fun and that's fun. But how much of that do you actually love? What do you actually really love? And it's only through the doing, through the real doing and coming out the other side, you go, oh, I just loved that. That was just so much fun. I really loved that. Aha, you've stumbled on something. Do more of that. Do more of that and keep doing that, because the more you focus in on what you love doing and doing more of that, and just focusing more on those things that you love. And when you run out of ideas to practice different things, just focus on what you love. The more you focus on what you love, the more it's going to help you to step into who you are, what makes you unique, what makes you different, and what makes you stand out in a crowd. Because you have this feeling and this desire for a reason. It's because it's like your higher self has set you this goal. This is where you need to be. This is where you need to be. This is who you are. So let's practice. Let's find out what you love and step into that. And we hope this message helps. Now, that was a message for Ali, and it was channeled, but it was very much me. Did you notice? It was my vocabulary, it was my voice, it was my personality coming through. The messages are very loving. When the teams are channeling, the messages are always very loving. If they start to sound very fear-based or negative, that would be my personality coming through. That would be me being triggered by the words coming through, or a part of me not agreeing with the words coming through and allowing my personality to come through. But a true and pure channeling is very loving. It's very positive. It's very supportive. It's very nurturing. Now, for question 3, I have Richa. And Richa would like to know what she needs to know about immigrating to Australia. So again, this time I'm going to ask my teams to come in even closer, and I'm going to give you a demonstration of direct voice channeling. Now, in direct voice channeling, what I'm doing is I'm allowing my teams to basically merge through me so much that they basically take over. They literally come in and they completely take over my body, and they take over my voice, and they do the talking. Now, in this state, in the direct voice channeled state, I'm kind of over here. I'm not doing the talking. They're doing the talking. I'm just sitting back and listening. You're gonna find my voice changes, my accent changes, maybe a little bit, not always. I've gotten better about allowing them through in more of my natural accent. But my personality is going to change. My facial expressions will change. My energy will change. So this is direct voice channeling, and it's not something that is easy to necessarily move into, because we naturally have a lot of resistance to allowing our teams to completely take over our bodies and speak through us. But it is one of my gifts, and I'm going to do a demonstration of this so you have an understanding of what it looks like. Now, when I blend and with my teams to do a direct voice channeling, I actually feel them move completely inside of me. It's like their body sort of steps into my body, and it's like it's sitting inside of me, and my energy feels very, very heavy. Blessings to you, dear Richa. We come to give you a message. Now, this message, we say, is mostly just a message of encouragement. You have a dream of moving to a place you felt so connected to, so inspired by. It literally lit you up when you were there last. And our words of encouragement are to not give up. There is a part of you that is really wanting to move to a new location, to be around people that you connect to, people that you are able to develop deeper friendships with. And we say that at the present time, there is no pathway, no easy pathway for you to immigrate to Australia. And whilst you are aware of this, we say to continue to hold faith and to hold the vision of you coming back. Now, we say that governments change, laws change, plans change, things change, skills change, our abilities change. Things are always changing. And so with this in mind, we say to you, dear Richa, first of all, you need to come back to Australia. You need to come back again, but you need to come back for a holiday. But this holiday needs to be different this time. It's we're not going to say much more, but we feel you need to come back again. There is more for you to see. There is a deepening awareness that needs to come through you being present in Australia. There is a few more keys, a few more pieces that need to lock into place for you to have a much more clear, centered vision of what is for your highest good and ultimately where you need to be and what you need to do. We're not going to give much more detail about that, but other than to just encourage you to just continue dreaming, continue setting your intentions out there, continue to connect in with your higher guidance, to allow your dreams to flow, allow your higher inspiration to flow, and to continue to express your true deepest desires. And it is through this expression of your desires, these do not necessarily need to be expressed out loud, but your deep desires do need to be expressed. They need to be expressed, and they need to be expressed to your teams, or they need to be journaled, or they just need to be expressed. And the more you express these desires outwardly, the more you're going to be able to feel them and to step more fully into them. And when you express these desires and you step into these desires and feel them, the easier it's going to be for you to manifest them. But it's also going to make it easier for you to understand what your desires actually are, what they truly are. And you're going to find the more you step in and express these desires, the more you're going to learn about yourself. Because these desires, well, some of them are mind-based, yes, that's true. But when you move past the mind and get deeper into the rawness of the internalness of you and allow these deeper desires to come up to the surface and express in the ways that you most best express them, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And you're going to realize that the things you truly desire, most of all, are not what you think. In fact, they may be something completely left field. And so it is about you just continuing to express and dive deep into this, because when you express it and you feel it, it is easier for you to manifest it. And so our advice to you, dear Richa, is to, number one, express, to go deep in and learn more about yourself, to really embody those desires and to really intend to embody and to step into them and allow them to manifest. And know that the more you do this, the clearer and easier and more your future will flow into place for you. But the key is getting in touch with those deeper desires and unlocking them within yourself and truly knowing what they are, because there's a lot here to discover for you. We say that there's a whole gold mine in there of stuff that you didn't know you truly desired. And so this is our advice to you, to help you to step more into your deeper desires of what you want in order to manifest them, to clear the way for them to happen, so to speak. We send you all of our love and many, many blessings for the journey. I hope that gives you an idea of the different kinds of ways that we can channel through our voice, by being in a blended state with our guides or in a fully embodied state. But just know that if you're defaulting into your clairaudience, your clairvoyance, your clairsentience, know that you're not wrong. You're just tuning more into your intuitive guidance rather than channeling. And that channeling is that direct connection of flow of words through your voice, from your teams, from your higher self, through your voice. That is channeling. And I hope that you can see in this video and feel in this video how beautiful the messages are when they come through. Thank you.